Hello, everybody. Ryan Carpenter here with No BS Golf, presented to you by P45 Knuckle Down Golf. That's right, your destination for everything golf right here in Central Georgia. You don't need to go to Atlanta. You don't need to go to the coast. We got everything you need, from lessons to fitting. Oh, by the way, to the enjoyment factor. My partners, thegolfpub.com. They've got the best facility: cold, rain, windy, hot, nighttime, you name it. You can go up, hang out, grab some beers, play any golf course around the world, and have a blast. You don't have to worry about none of that weather nor time of day. So we got it all. I want to go into some things today here. Two things mainly. My main topic is long-term lasting development. That's kind of the core focus of what I do with most people anyways. And and then I came across one of these things again, and it is hard to understand where people get their information, I guess, and about especially themselves. So there's this conversation, and a fella, oh, I got this swing thingy, and and it comes from mainly amateurs teaching amateurs is where it really boils down to. But I'm trying to get the data on the tour level off the tee. Here we go. And then total now. Okay, driving distance. So we got Mr. Potgeider here at an averaging of 326 right now. He's number one on the PGA Tour. Number one PGA Tour. There's about 200 people roughly that play at the tour level in the entire globe. World, folks. World. And at the top of the chart is 326. At the bottom of the globe, the top 200-ish or so fellas, let's just say, 276 on average. Ready? Let's soak that in for a minute. The number one guy, Potgeider. The lowest guy, Brian Campbell, at 276. So we got to understand that, right? Middle of pack guys are around probably 290 on average, only on average. So there's this fella. He's like, oh, don't worry about the swing. I stripe it 320 with the exact same swing. It is what it is. Distance isn't my issue. It's the lack of consistency that can kill me. Blah, blah. Got to cover something internal that knee, as they say. Okay. So this fella, this internet guy, not only hits it as long as Potgeider and stripes it, by the way. I seem to remember Potgeider having some issues off the tee here and there. This fella stripes it with a bad golf swing, 320. And then another question, how consistently do you do that is the question. Good question this other fella popped in on. Stripe it? Oh, 33% of the time, 320. Oh, 85 to 90% of the time. Well, if that's true, that means this guy's hitting like 400-yard bombs sometimes with a bad golf swing, because his swing, he said, and you look at the video of this swing, you can see it. It ain't a good golf swing at all. It ain't even close. And it sure as hell ain't a powerful golf swing. I can tell you that right now. And this guy is in here gagging on other people, trying to tell them some kind of stuff that's just a whole lot of mumbo-jumbo, bunch of BS is what it is. I don't understand where this mindset, I understand where the distance mindset comes from. I hit it down a mountain, downwind, one day, and it went and it rolled out to 340. But, I landed it at about 237 and it went the rest of the way. Right. I get it. That's not your average. So But to go online and start throwing things out there like this, that just doesn't even, it just doesn't even compute. How in God's name does this guy with a bad golf swing even self-proclaim, I got the same swing, I stripe it 320? Like, you ain't helping nobody with this crap. And it's not, what good does it do? So people need to understand, first of all, you've got to go through a fairly comprehensive, long-term, lasting development process of some type. And yes, there are different ways to do it. There's not only one way, but there are, different ways to do it. The point is this: nobody just walks out to a golf course and magically hits it 320 off the tee all the time. It just does not happen. And I always want to say, like, well, okay, here's the next thing. How come you ain't on tour then? Because you're proclaiming numbers that are better than tour level, or at least well above the low end. I mean, he's better than 100. And here, we'll go all the way up the chart. Ready? This guy is better than 100 and like 90 guys who are playing at the tour level. Why is he not out there kicking the shit out of Scotty Scheffler? Can someone please reach out to this guy and let me know why he's not beating the piss out of the tour level players? So it just doesn't. Got to use your head. So this guy is better. Ready? Let's pull out a name that everybody probably knows. Hopefully, I don't know. How about a well, if you've been paying attention lately, this Luke Clanton, Minwoo Lee, he's as good as Minwoo Lee, is what he's saying. And he's saying he would go out on tour and whoop the shit out of, I don't know. Let's see. Some of y'all know some of the names, but I want just to try. Justin Thomas, he's kicking the crap out of Justin Thomas right now. He's beating the pants off of Ludwig Aberg, according to his little note here. It don't add up. It just does not make any sense. So long-lasting, long-term development. There's the more important thing here. So anyways, that was that little clip of the day. Long-term, long-lasting development. There's lots to it. There is no secret pill, medicine, you name it. There's processes for sure. And the thing about it is that even with good processes and good effective methods of going through, it's still it goes in phases is what happens. And so the reason it becomes long-term and long-lasting is that when you go through a certain set of functional skill development and learning, and we could break it down to movement-based, position-based, application of, degree of application of, so whatever we want to dissect and take into it, let's use loft for an example. So let's say the dynamic loft of a player in the day one, so 7-iron, roughly, let's say dynamic loft is like up in the high 40s, right? So it's more, pitching wedge basically. And we want to get a more dynamic loft on average, obviously closer, mid 30 maybe, somewhere range, high 30 max probably, it depends. I mean, there's a lot of variables. So it doesn't matter. Just pick simple. This is simple numbers. These aren't mathematically perfect. I can't give you any perfect number because everybody got something different. Anyways, the point is, let's just say high 30, fine, whatever. There's a set of functioning movements and developments that have to be learned, and then they have to be repeated, and then it's got to become automatic, basically, is what it boils down to. And so 50% of the game is the process is this. I got to give the information to the players, but then they've got to take it from there. I can't do the work for a player. It's impossible. they've got to put it upon themselves to find the time. I got players all finding it within their schedules. When can they do this? When can they do that? To go from one phase to another, you got to go through phase one. You got to get through some learning, put it all together a little bit. We start to see the dynamic change, like loft, for example. Maybe it was in the 48-7 range normally. Now we're down to maybe 42. Okay, cool. That means spin is increased, launch is better, most likely, and striking's a little bit cleaner, probably for sure. Low point maybe not be fully developed yet, so we're at least moving forward towards that more precise, crisper, cleaner, maybe strike. Okay, and then we want to go start putting that into action now. So then we move away from the process, the development side of the coin, and we start going to the application side of the coin. The preparation is what I call it. And in prep phase, we're trying to put it all together so that it makes sense and things aren't getting in the way. It's if you haven't seen it, so there's a whole lot of things I'm putting out there right now. The 9 factors that lead to ball flight, right? I'm not saying that, be careful. I'm not saying there's 9 inputs of ball flight. I'm saying the 9 factors that lead to ball flight. So it's very specific. Okay. That's why the lesson process is so important. The 9 factors that affect how you can judge or determine what your ball flight is. The 3 putting fundamental drills. So you got to be careful with a lot of this stuff because in the long-term development aspect of it is we got to know how to prep it and lead ourselves to the successful application of things, and then get some experience with that, and then go through the SWOT, as I use a lot, and determine what's next. What's after we've had time to apply and work through this, what's next? Where do we go next? And how do we re-examine the situation that we're in and know from output playing what needs to then take place next. And so that's on to phase 2. And then we get back into the lab a little bit. We do a little, more maybe definitive learning or taking it to another level of development learning. And so we get through that a little bit. We see, okay, now maybe 40 and 39 degree dynamic loft change. And so all of a sudden we go back a little, we massage it and work it some more and get more. And then we go back to the preparation, the application, and continue to work through making sure we're not making the mistakes there. And then that leads to the playing. And so it's kind of a little circle of and it's different for everybody. And that's why it has to be a custom plan. And it's different based off so many factors, ability versus goals, time frame. What time of the year is it? What should be focused on? But the point is this: long-term lasting development comes from a minimum of at least about 2 full years of going through that process. There's no way around it. I have the article. I can put it up again if y'all want. You got to ask for it. Come down here and give me a comment. Say, hey, I want to see the article. It was from 2010. 2007. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. I was well into probably year 3, 4 at Galtech. I don't know. And I sat down and read this, and I said, see, there we go. And the point of it was this. It's pretty simple. 7 different teachers, 7 different players, all different skill levels, man, woman, old, young, you name it. The variables were broad, but there was only 2 or 3 things that were exactly the same, folks. They picked an instructor. They worked with them regularly. They improved a ton, and it lasted long term because they spent on average about 18 to 24 months working on it with their instructor. I didn't create this plan out of nowhere. This comes from this years of study that I've spent with top 50 Golf Digest instructors, the best PGA master teaching professionals that I've learned from and been lucky to be around. I didn't make any of this stuff up. This is all stuff I take from other great instructors, and I put it into this huge package. I walk in a lesson, I say it, The reason I understand the long-term development aspect is I'm bringing in 50 of the greatest instructors that have ever walked the face of the earth. You don't see them because I've spent 25 years studying them. And so it's all right here available to you. If y'all want to get really good, we can get you there. You've got to figure it out. Evaluation lesson is the first step. That's why. Get that set up right away. Once we have that in place, we build the custom plan, then we get started. And through the process of a year or two, we're going to figure it all out eventually. And then you're off and playing. Go back and watch the video with Reagan. I couldn't tell you. It's been probably 4 years since I gave him his last lesson, like true lesson. And that was like, I don't know, 15 years after his first lesson. He's good. He just needs tweaks here and there sometimes. He's damn good. He walks out on a golf course. He knows he's the best damn player in the facility, most likely. So, yeah, we don't got to do a lot now, but it took that first. I mean, we spent 5 years straight in the beginning getting him up to speed, and he progressed and he did well, but there was more to do. So, it's just, you got to think in terms of reality. This guy up here on the net telling you a bunch of BS. I hate these things that get posted like this. It's such crap. It's just not true. It doesn't even make any sense. When you start thinking about it, it don't take common sense to go, dude, buzz off. Like, seriously. So, but if you do want long-term lasting success, it's available to you, folks. You're going to have to commit. That's for sure. The evaluation will set you up. We'll get the custom plan. And then you have to decide, hey, every week I'm going to spend this much time and work on my game. In 2 years, we'll look back and see where we're at. And everybody that's done it has been tickled pink, happier than you know what by the end of the road. So, and some continue on, and that's great. The continuing on, we start to see new dreams and goals and things emerge, and that's where we start chasing bigger dreams, and that's when it gets fun. It really gets real fun. So, anyways, that's probably it for today. I'll post this thing up here. I gotta blank out names and faces. I don't want to be put nobody's information out there, but I want you to read through this little blurb. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's flat out BS. So we don't do no BS here at P45. No. Come down and check us out at the Golf Pub, everybody. The internet, please like, subscribe, tweet, share, go to the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Man, I spend more time doing this than but anyways, and a little QR code up in the corner. Go ahead and tag that thing and go to the website, put in a request, get that evaluation out. It's 50% off the evaluation when you buy a lesson package. The eval is the way to start. So if you want to learn all this for yourself, come on down, ready to get you started right now. Right here in Central Georgia, we got everything you need. P45 Knuckle Down Golf. Take care, folks.